Well, this is definitely going to be better than that stinker of a press conference we watched earlier with Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson. Anyway, what's going on, Hassan? I've seen you ask, why is this fight happening? It's not being talked about, but Tank Davis is the WBA world champion at 135 pounds. Rolly Romero is the interim champion at 135 pounds. As you know, Teofimo Lopez is the WBA champion at 135 pounds. So if you don't know, the WBA has been forced to get rid of all of their underling belts. So basically, this is a fight that had to happen. It had to, you know, and the winner of this is going to be Teofimo Lopez's mandatory. Isn't that crazy? Nobody's talking about that. Well, anyway, I'm T-Shirt Controversy with FightView360.com. Let me make sure I open up the press conference here. Normally, the Showtime press conferences start on time. It's going to be starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. It is now 3:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, October the 21st, 2021. Now, let's go look at this Rolly Romero guy. To be honest, I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's not like that good to me. You know, he's getting this fight off of, it's safe to say, you know, that, you know, he talks shit. You know, he's a character. And also, once again, he's got that WBA interim belt. And he's Tank Davis's mandatory. So, Anthony, can you dig it, Yidget? Stopped him in 7. Avery Sparrow stopped him in 7. Jackson Marinez, he got the unanimous decision. What is the fight that he got the gift in? Isn't it the Jackson Marinez fight? But I believe, I'm pretty sure Marinez had turned down the rematch. But isn't this that fight where he got that gift and, you know, he was getting like butchered on social media about it? So here's the rankings, by the way. My beautiful website, FightView360.com. Links down below in the description box. You know, I talked about it before, and frankly, I really don't want to talk about these guys in this video, but they have to be mentioned. Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, who are not going to be fighting anytime soon, by the way. Teofimo Lopez, WBC franchise, WBA Super, IBF, WBO, and Ring Magazine champion. He is at the top of the hill. Devin Haney, the WBC champion. Jojo Diaz, the WBC interim champion. That is just a messy situation right there. As you can see, Tank Davis, WBA world champion. He's fighting Rolly Romero to unify those titles. And then the winner is going to be ordered to fight Teofimo Lopez. So right now, Teofimo Lopez is fulfilling his IBF mandatory. Don't be surprised if the winner of Lomachenko and Richard Comey, which is supposed to happen in December, don't be surprised if this winner is the WBO mandatory. And while Teofimo, with his franchise status, doesn't have a WBC mandatory. Now, personally, I think that Teofimo Lopez is on his way to 140 pounds. You know, maybe if Top Rank throws enough money at him, if he defeats George Kambosos. When is that fight supposed to be happening? November the 27th. It's official now. We got the press release. Maybe we see Teofimo versus Loma 2. You know, and I think, like, put it this way, I think after Kambosos' fight, he's going to have one more fight at 135 pounds, and then he's done. You know, hell, he might even move up, you know, after the Kambosos fight, win or lose. But, you know, also, you know, Teofimo Lopez can lose the belts on the scales. That'll be some crazy shit, right? I hope that he doesn't, but, you know, with the way things, you know, when the way people have been talking and George Kambosos, people are really concerned about his weight. And just, you know, the fact that it took so long for this fight to get made in and out of all those training camps, that takes a toll on you. Isaac Cruz is the next IBF mandatory after George Kambosos. Ryan Garcia, well, he's out getting his pussy maintenance. He's injured again. And that, my friends, is 135 pounds. Hopefully, when Devin Haney does return, it is going to be him versus Jojo Diaz. At least we can get rid of that interim belt situation. And then the winner of Haney versus Diaz fights Ryan Garcia. Yeah, there's been some talk and rumors that Tank, may be going up to 147. And I do see Spence moving to 154. But Spence better not go anywhere unless he fights the winner of Crawford versus Porter. And right now, really, unless it's a real significant weight issue, I think that Errol Spence should stay until he becomes undisputed. Or, him and Terrence Crawford fight for both of those belts. Now, according to Jake Donovan from Boxing Scene, hold on, let me do something real quick. According to Jake Donovan from Boxing Scene, PBC was trying to make Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas. So Spence is actually back for February the 22nd. So that's some really, really good news. And then the winner of that fights the winner of Crawford versus Porter. And then boom, you got an undisputed champion, at the end of the year. Or we can have an undisputed champion by the end of 2022. Now, it must also be said, hold on, I'm doing some shit in the background. The press conference is going to be starting soon, by the way. I'm guessing they're going to be starting any moment now. I need to go check in and see what's going on there. And apparently, tickets for Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero in LA, it's taking place in the Staples Center, is doing really good. Like, I'm sold now that Tank Davis is a growing star. Now, one thing for sure is this fight is not a pay-per-view fight in a very crowded pay-per-view market. So say, for example, November the 6th, you got Canelo versus Plant. November the 20th, you got Crawford versus Porter. December the 5th, you got this Tank Davis versus Rolando Romero. Then later on that month, we're supposed to have Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. A lot of boxing pay-per-views, man. And then we just got over Fury versus Wilder 3, So it's no secret that Tank Davis is the attraction. And also, there's a lot of people, I don't know if it's hundreds of thousands of people or 100,000 people, but people want to see Rolly Romero get beat up. Something's wrong with my audio? Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'll check it out. And it's time, for, them to get a little bit more aggressive with the matchmaking with Tank Davis, because it's like he's fighting good fights, but you can tell the matchmaking is very, 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 careful, For example, let's go look at his resume. I like the Mario Barrios fight. 25-0 with 24 KOs, 26 years old. This is his third fight in 14 months? It'll be his third fight in 14 months. Leo Santa Cruz last year, but a lot of people predicted that Leo Santa Cruz was going to get knocked out. The Yurkis Gamboa, well, he had 1 foot, 1 shoe. These other fights I really don't care too much about, but this Cuellar fight, that's a very good win for him at the time. The Jose Pedraza win has aged well. That's a very, very, very good win for him. But this Romero fight, it's a grudge match, but also it's not being talked about, as we talked about early in the video, is that it's a mandatory. They're not talking about it. The WBA, Tank Davis had to pick which belts he was going to keep, and he chose to hold on to this one. So right now, he's in a situation where he's got mandatories at 140 and 135 pounds. So Rolly is his mandatory, and then the winner of that is going to have to fight Teofimo Lopez. He's going to have to figure out what he's going to do with his WBA world title. I'm guessing they're not going to, I don't think they're going to order him. I don't know what's going to happen with this situation right here. Is he going to fight Josh Taylor? I don't think so. You know, it's a shame we're in an era of like where boxers do so much talk. I'm not saying Tank, but I'm talking about guys like Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. All these guys you know, like they should be fighting each other. Like they should be fighting each other, bro. Like I'm tired of it. So anyway, the press conference is going to be starting momentarily. I'm guessing, of course, they're going to have an all access for this, which should be good. By the way, Canelo versus Plant All Access episode 1 is this Friday on Showtime at 8 p.m. Eastern. This weekend is going to be Jamel Herring versus Shakur Stevenson. For those who don't know, the undercard is trash. I'm going to go ahead and say it, no disrespect to the fighters, but listen, undercard's trash. You know, Xander Zayas, Evan Holyfield, Nico Ali Walsh. Like, I just want them to calm down with him because you know, they making me and other fans, they're turning other fans off with like so much of the pushing that they're doing. Muhammad Ali's grandson, Muhammad Ali's grandson. Am I trying to hear that shit, man? You know? But it's interesting because, you know, as you can see, this is Tank Davis's third pay-per-view fight. I'm wondering to myself, like, what, you know, because you know they're going to want to keep him pay-per-view. So what's the next fight? Oh, they're about to start. Let me turn it up. So it's like, what's the next, like, you know, pay-per-view that they can realistically do in-house? You see what I'm saying? Like, what can they do, you know, because they've been really doing a good job keeping Tank Davis fights in-house while they're being exciting, intriguing matchups. But now it seems as though, like what in-house fight, unless he moves to 147, can they make? You know, that was the Keith Thurman rumblings, but, you know, Keith Thurman is going on a 3-year layoff, bro. Like, what the fuck? You know, it's not going to be Chris Colbert, I don't think. Like, I'm trying to find like a in-house fight that they can do. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You think it would be Colbert, but Colbert is going to fight at 130, you know, against Roger Gutierrez for that belt, the super belt, the only belt at 130. So he would win a belt and then move up to 135. Now remember, that 130 belt is the one that Tank vacated. Isaac Cruz, you think they can do that on pay-per-view? I think he'll go up to 147, to be honest. You know, when I'm really, really thinking about it, I mean, but who at 130, who at 147 would he fight? You know, they'll do it on pay-per-view. Tank versus Danny Garcia? Cash out? You think they'll do Tank versus Jose Zito Lopez? You know they got to put him against some Mexican or Hispanic. By the way, this fight, I don't, you know, I'm trying to think I'm trying to figure what is this pay-per-view really going to do numbers wise? What's your prediction? 250, 250K, 300,000? I don't know, man. 300,000 kind of pushing it to me. 250K sound about right in pay-per-view buys. I know it's Colbert, man. Shut up, Big Stein. Grow up. Coming in here fucking being a teacher. Tank versus Amir Khan? Ew. 200K? I'm thinking 200K, 250. I can't see 300, bro. I can't see it. I can't see 300. Like, if you look at it, Rolly Romero, even with his antics and everything, he's not, like, well known. He don't have, like, hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers, do he? You know, that's the shit these days. You got to talk about the Instagram followers. Let me see. Rolly Romero. You know, he be on some weird shit on Twitter, but hey, that's life, you know? Like, his name don't, like, ring no bells. People don't be like, oh, motherfucking Rolly. Motherfucking Rolly, you know? Damn, they got his Instagram linked to somebody else. I went to go click it on Google, and it's somebody else's Instagram. What's his Instagram? Oh, sign up for KOs, right? Here we go. You know they be like trolling him in the Mayweather gym, like Richardson Hitchens, Colbert. And who else? They be like basically like, how the fuck did he get so far? Let me see, where is he at? Sign up for KOs. Yeah, they keep linking his Instagram to somebody else. Oh no, there you go. There you go. Let's go check out some of his antics before the press conference starts. This is the press conference. Where's it at? Down here. Oh, let's go here. Here we go. Leave it down there. Tank gonna beat this boy.
Y'all want to see a dead body? Congrats on your victory, champ.
Hit that whole thing. Knock that whole head off.
Yeah. Oh.
That's what we're doing.
By the way, Tank Davis released a tweet, and then took it down that he was going to kill him. That he was going to shoot him, pretty much insinuating. Like, bro, I just hope there's no fisticuffs at this. Actually, I do hope it's fisticuffs. Look at this right here, though. Look at his walk around weight. Like, these boxers be out of control. And he got fucking weird hobbit feet, bro. Ew. You know, but he been trolling, though. He's a good troll. I do admit that. Look, 181. It's not a good look to me, man. These boxers be competing in weight classes and walking around like 40 fucking pounds heavier. That's some crazy shit to me. But yeah, he talked his way into this one. He talked his way into this one. By the way, that's my man Boxing Antics right there, who been making moves. Oh, we're here. All right. We'll talk after the press conference. Please take your time out, like the video, subscribe. This is live.
Fireworks on Sunday night, December 5th, from here at the Staples Center in LA, and only on Showtime pay-per-view. A very unique matchup in the lightweight division, featuring young stars and sluggers. Multi-division champion Gervonta Tank Davis putting his unbeaten record on the line against a big puncher, an agitator, a man looking to upset the apple cart come December 5th, Rolando Romero. My name is Brian Campbell, and welcome into the press conference announcing this event Sunday night, December 5th, Showtime pay-per-view, and in association with Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, and TGB Promotions. Fight fans, tickets go on sale tomorrow. That's Thursday, October 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It can be purchased at AXS.com. Before we hear from the fighters and take some questions from the media, some special guests I want to bring up, the architect behind everything going on in Showtime Boxing, the president of Showtime Sports, Mr. Steven Espinoza.
Thank you, Brian. For Showtime Sports, 2021 has been one of our most prolific and maybe strongest years on record. At the end of this year, we will have delivered a total of 42 live boxing and MMA events. That's the second biggest year in the history of the network, in the 35-year history of televising combat sports. 18 live boxing events over the first 9 months of this year, 57 fights, including 2 exhibitions. Nearly half of those, by the way, ended in KOs. And I have a feeling December 5th, the main event, we're not going the distance either, with 2 of the biggest punchers in the division, 2 exciting young fighters going head-to-head. On top of the amazing boxing schedule we've had this year, we've also had 14 live Bellator events. This weekend, a legend in MMA, Fedor, will be headlining from Moscow. The week after, 2 weeks after that, we'll be in Dublin with Bellator. But on the boxing side, we're about to kick off a really remarkably strong 5 fights in 6 weeks. Begins next week, October 30th, with a great welterweight card from Las Vegas featuring rising star Gervonta Ennis, welterweight champ Jamal James, the very exciting Michelle Rivera. Then it's on to November 6th, featuring the #1 star in the sport, pound for pound, consensus #1 fighter Canelo Alvarez, looking to become undisputed champion. Then November 13th, David Benavidez headlines from Phoenix. November 27th, Fulton and Figueroa, Brandon and Steven will be going for the unified title. In short, week after week, year after year, Showtime has been and continues to be the standard bearer in this sport. There's no other network in this sport that's delivering the sport with the experience, the clarity, the sophistication that we do. There's no one else in combat sports delivering stronger action, more meaningful fights. And on December 5th, Sunday, December 5th, we're capping off that run with a very exciting matchup. Gervonta, 25-0, 24 knockouts. He's a 3-division champion, currently holding 2 titles in 2 different divisions. This will be his 11th time on Showtime. He's never been down as a pro. And the remarkable thing, over his last 3 fights, he's been in 3 different divisions: super lightweight, super featherweight, and lightweight. While the rest of the division is out there arguing and debating and doing everything but fighting, Tank is busy fighting, selling out arenas in Baltimore, selling out arenas in Atlanta, doing $4.5 million gates. He's quiet except when he's in the ring, and he lets his action speak for him. Rolly Romero, this will be his 5th fight on Showtime and Showtime pay-per-view. He is the #1 contender, ranked by the WBA. He's also never been down as a pro. And there's one thing that, well, there's several things that are unique about him. Rolly is, without question, one of the most confident fighters in the sport. Just ask him, he'll tell you. And he'll tell you in just a few minutes.
Absolutely.
He's undefeated. He's a big puncher. And unlike a lot of fighters, he says he likes fighting lefties. And he's a puncher. So at the end of the day, there's titles at stake, there's rankings at stake. But really, we have one of the oldest storylines known to man. When 2 guys have a dispute, when they've got beef, what do? How do you settle that? It goes back to the caveman days, right? You fight. There are a lot of reasons why fights get made. There are title fights, there are mandatory fights, there's rematches. But when there's a personal rivalry between 2 guys, when 2 guys have beef, when 2 guys just don't like each other, it goes back to the earliest days of mankind. What do? Well, in boxing, we have a solution for that. You get in the ring, you fight, and on Sunday, December 5th, we'll settle it then. We'll see you there.
What is Rolly? Is he a Puerto
Thank you so
Rican?
much, Steven. I think you said it right. While both fighters will bring in a part of the overall lightweight title to this sport, it's been more about bad blood and that rare promise of a knockout in this matchup. And the man who didn't hesitate to match these 2 together, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, let's hear from Leonard Ellery.
You see all that security on both sides?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Mayweather Promotions is excited to bring this huge event to Los Angeles here at the Staples Center on December the 5th. This is a tremendous matchup. And again, we are really excited. And the fans should be really excited. There's a tremendous buzz already. Tickets went on sale this morning, and they're flying like hotcakes. Again, because anytime you have 2 exciting fighters, this is what the fans really want to see. And in this case, you got 2 fighters, and both of these guys truly despise each other. And that's very rare that you see that in boxing. So I can recall in 2019, me and Floyd was at the Spence Garcia fight. And we're sitting there in the corral, and we're talking, you know, getting ready for the fight. And all of a sudden, these two, Rolly was already there, and Tank walk up. And all of a sudden, they getting ready to get it popping right there at ringside. And, you know, Floyd tells them, like, hey, we don't do stuff like that. If y'all gonna do something, we do it in the ring, but we conduct ourselves like professionals. And, you know, here we go. You know, this fight, in my eyes, will probably be the fight of the year or something close to it for as long as it lasts. Not comparing the fighters, but I truly, truly expect this fight to reflect an old fight of Hagler versus Hearns, where there was nothing but punches flying everywhere, and the fight ended in a vicious knockout. And I truly expect this fight to end the same way. In Tank's case, without a doubt, Gervonta Davis is the most exciting fighter in the entire world. He's also one of the biggest attractions in the entire world. He's also one of the best fighters in the entire world. And because it's no secret that Rolly has let it be known that he's the troll king. You know, so for quite some time, Rolly has been trolling Tank. And I'm sure on the night of December the 5th, Tank will be looking to do any and everything he can to finally shut Rolly up. In Rolly's case, Rolly is a very, very explosive fighter. Anytime he steps in that ring, he's looking to get his opponent out of there. You know, he's a guy that he never lacks confidence, and he's very confident come December the 5th that he's going to get the job done. He's told me, he's told Floyd, he's told Al that he's knocking Tank the fuck out on December the 5th. So the way I look at it, like I said, the fans are the winners when it comes to something like this. You know, in Rolly's case, again, he's a tremendous puncher. He's a big lightweight, and he's very, very strong. But one thing that Floyd Mayweather has always taught me from day one, he says, everybody can dish that shit, but can you take it? So in this case, when you have two tremendous punchers, there's no way humanly possible that this fight doesn't end in a knockout. So tune in, December the 5th, expect a knockout.
Thank you, Leonard. Obviously, you can't talk about Mayweather Promotions without talking about the name on the banner, and we certainly want to acknowledge Floyd Mayweather, the TBE, to come on up, if you please. Nobody knows these two fighters better that'll match up on Sunday night, December 5th, than the unbeaten fighter, promoter, stylish entertainer as well. Let's give him credit for that. It's Floyd Mayweather.
I thought I was done with this part, but two great fighters. When I say great, I mean every time they go out there, they produce. Tank was a young kid from Baltimore who had a dream. He'd been through a lot. He'd been through a lot of ups and downs, and he fought his way to the top. So, I mean, you have to commend this kid for that. No matter what the media says, no matter what the people say, he earned his stripes. Day in and day out, he go out there and he produce. And that's what it's really about. It's about producing. A hell of a training team. I can't, I have to take my hat off to his team. Calvin and the Headbangers, you guys have, Barry Hunter has done a tremendous job, with so many different fighters in the DMV area. A lot of talented fighters from that area, and I believe Tank is the #1 fighter from that area. He's one of the best fighters in the world. But then the guy that he's facing right here, Rolly, he said he want to be the best. He want to fight the best. So come December 5th, We're going to match these two guys, and it's going to be one hell of a fight. You know, I take my hat off to Rolly and his team. Rolly is tough. He'll fight anybody. He'll spar anybody. So that's why this is a very, very intriguing matchup. Rolly wants the best. Rolly feel like he's the best. And one thing about Tank is he's doing record-breaking numbers. And I told him in due time, you know, when me and Tank was in Miami, you know, bike riding on a yacht, just enjoying life. I told him, you know, the same way I'm selling out stadiums, you're going to do the same thing. And selling out arenas, you're going to do the same thing. But you have to have patience. He had patience, and that's what we're doing. I mean, in the lightweight division right now,
he having a hard time not talking about himself.
We have guys with great names, but not drawing power. And one thing about Tank, he has drawing power. Where we went to Atlanta, you guys seen what we did. We was able to go to Baltimore. You seen what we was able to do. Now we're in L.A. And L.A. needs some entertainment. So December 5th, we're going to have entertainment. And both of these guys, Rolly, hell of a puncher, knockout artist. And every time we went to Rolly and we presented an opponent, we said, what about this guy? Do you want to fight him? Absolutely, give him to me. No excuses. Whereas we had a lot of other fighters that's under the Mayweather Promotions banner, as well as PBC promotion banner. There's always, no, I don't want to fight this guy. Oh, I don't want to fight this guy. Rolly is a guy that said, I'll fight anybody. It doesn't matter. So he talked his way up on this fight, and he didn't just talk. He earned his stripes. Some guys, it takes 30 fights, 40 fights to match up with some of the best. With Rolly, it didn't take that long. With Tank, it didn't take that long. And I just want to say I'm proud of both fighters, as well as the people that's behind the scenes that was able to put this fight together, because we have to work together as a team. I didn't do this by myself. Just like for me to get to where I got to in my career, I didn't do it by myself. So I have to commend my team and everybody that's behind the GTD Promotions that's working with Tank. And that's the ultimate goal for him, to build his brand. So I take my hat off to GTD, as well as Showtime. I commend Showtime. When I first got with Steven, I told him that I would make Showtime the A side. Even though this is Showtime pay-per-view, I was able to change the sport of boxing.
There you go.
So I'm happy that I was able to get involved with the sport and change it and take it to that next level. Take it to that next level, to whereas there other promoters was upset because I believe in the fighters getting the lion's share, not the promoters. Whereas years before I got in the fight game, they was taking advantage of fighters, and the promoters was getting majority and a bigger share of the pot. Now I'm involved, and I truly believe in fighters getting a bigger share and fighters getting the most. I had my career, so I don't have to talk about what I can do or what I've done. It's all about Gervonta, Tank, Davis, and Rolando, Rolly. These guys are tremendous. I'm happy. I want to say, Leonard, I take my hat off to you. Doing a hell of a job. You know, when I'm traveling around, when I'm on my jet, traveling the world and doing other things and doing, getting involved with other businesses, somebody still has to run the day-to-day business for Mayweather Promotions. That's what these fighters don't understand, or these fighters don't know. Tank is the same way. Tank can fight anybody. He's the same way. When I'm in the boxing gym, we're in the gym training, it could be a light heavyweight. Tank like, oh, I'll box him. No, Tank. But Tank, I take my hat off to you. I'm proud of you. We still growing. Nothing happens overnight. You're still growing, and you got the potential to surpass me. In due time, we'll see. The ultimate goal in boxing is for records to be broken. I never got into this sport to knock another fighter, to talk bad about another fighter, meaning, of course, when you're building a fight, it's good to see all that drama. But what I'm talking about, far as any other legendary champion that was before me or any champion that's coming, y'all get to that. Relax, y'all get to that.
He really gonna sit up there and talk about himself for another half hour.
There's so many legendary champions that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. And I commend all the champions before me and all the champions to come. Do I want to see my records broken? Absolutely. I'm not like that. Like I always say, the greatest thing about my career was being able to, what I did when my career was over. I made smart investments. That's the best thing about my career. And I had fun in the fight game. But it's all about these young guys right here. These guys are the future of boxing. And like Leonard said when I was in the back, Leonard said he don't see this fight going the distance. Neither does I. I just want to commend both sides, the coaches, the promotion team, for helping me put this together. 2 undefeated fighters, 2 knockout artists, 2 champions. December 5th. Hopefully I see all you guys there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Floyd. Before we get a chance to hear from the fighters, let's call up the men who are responsible for preparing these 2 action-packed lightweights for Sunday night, December 5th. First, from the Romero corner, his trainer, Bullet Cromwell.
Oh, we're gonna be here a long time.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I know everybody think what the popular people say and what the media says about who's a champ, but the champ wasn't ever born a champ. He had to rise too. And just like a young lion, Rolly's ready to rise too, like Simba did. You understand what I'm saying? One thing I want to say that I am an LA cat. 18 years in LA, Washington High School, John Muir, Fauché, Menlo. You know what I'm saying? When we come back here, we fighting for a legacy. We're not fighting for a belt and just money. We're fighting for a legacy. I tell that to Rolly. I tell that to his family. Gervonta Davis is standing in your way of changing your family and your legacy. We got a job to do. Murder, 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 kill, kill, kill. That's how we train. I don't care about pure boxing. I don't care about any style. Because in this fight game, one thing I've learned, karate, street fighting, and boxing, I put it together. And that's why with a puncher with that much power and that much grind and grit, it's a perfect match in heaven. Calvin Ford, a lot of respect for you, brother, man. And your team, Tank, great fighter. I love knockout, so I gotta love Tank. But I love him more. Rolly's next up, WBA champion, and the new WBA champion, Rolly.
Bro, you see his shoes?
Thank you,
That
Bullet.
man is dangerous.
His counterpart
He
in
got
the corner of
Venom on some
Gervonta
red
Davis, the
Crocs.
respected head coach, Calvin Ford.
Also, Rolly with karate. That's crazy. We learn something new every day.
Thank you, Coach. Rolly, love you, boy. Keep talking. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of that night, we're going to see you still be talking that night. I don't train Tank for knockouts, get what I'm saying? I train him for the distance. Do the math. He can get you from 1 to 12. So stay sharp. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. And Team Davis is not just Coach Ford. Another decorated name in boxing circles, Mr. Barry Hunter. Can you say a few words?
Yeah, my man got denim like jeans on and a white tee, but some red crocodile shoes. He's dangerous. Rolly gonna win.
I'm so happy to be back in LA. What can I say? Calvin was just talking about years of riding, even from the amateurs since he was about 8 or 9 years old. Y'all know what we come to do. You know what I mean? Mad respect to the other side. Bring your A game, I know you will. Definitely we're gonna bring ours. We was talking about, this brother said where he was from. We're from a little place in DC called Southeast. Look it up. And the same thing with Baltimore. So we've been born and stuff like this here, man. And like y'all said, this fight will not go the distance. Everybody's working hard. Everybody's going to be at their best. We don't want no excuses now. After it's over with, it's over with. But I got faith in mine. I know what he's going to do.
Fuck that. Rolling no karate. Like, I'm on his side.
Thank you so much, Coach. Time has come that we hear from the fighters themselves. Of course, in one corner, 14-0 with 12 KOs from Las Vegas, coming to make a statement, Rolando "Rolly" Romero.
That boy fly.
Man, I just want to say I'm excited to be here on Showtime, you know what I mean? I might be, honestly, the youngest, well, I mean, as far as, like, record-wise, like, as far as, like, all the YouTubers and stuff, with the exception of them, I might be the pay-per-view fighter with the least amount of fights, you know? But, I mean, you guys are going to see the semifinal. I'm going to knock this dwarf the fuck out. That's how it is. You hear that? I'm going to knock you the fuck out. Flatline. You know how it is. You damn fucking scared? What the fuck am I scared of? You literally... Man. You a stupid fucking dwarf, man. I'm telling you, man. I can't even mess with your fucking head. I can't even mess with your fucking head. It's so fucking big, like this fucking big. And your fucking little T-Rex arms, man. My dick's longer than your fucking arms. Yeah. I'm gonna knock this chump the fuck out. Like that.
Rolly's
Thank you, Rolly.
hilarious. He's the man.
Across from him, December 5th, 25-0 with 24 KOs, titles in 3 divisions. A star, no matter where he chooses to step into the ring, Gervonta "Tank" Davis.
Tank's scared, y'all. He's scared. Tank's scared.
I just want to say, thank Al Heyman, thank Mayweather Promotions, thank Showtime. Thank y'all. I'm definitely thankful to be here. Another day in the life. That's what we do, man. This guy just here to talk. He trying to talk his way into the fight. That ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? He's scared. He can't even talk when he come up here. He don't know. They ain't talk about no skills or nothing. They talk about how he punch. I ain't trying to hit none of that. Where you from? We ain't trying to hit none of that. We from the city. You know what's happening, what's in the city. You know what happened in the city. So we ain't trying to hit none of that. I'm coming to fight. If it was the streets, these niggas would have been smoked. And that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what I did. That's what it is. That's what it is. You trash. You trash. He got a fur on that's 80 degrees on. Like, this nigga is crazy. With big ass shoes on. Like, this man is crazy, bro. Like, this nigga a clown. Nigga Jake Paul. It's crazy. It's hot as shit out here, man. But anyways, they never talk about no skill. They talk about power. And boxing, okay. He keep talking about Joette. He talk about Joette beat me twice. Okay, cool. That's when I was 14 or something like that. Come on, bro. The skills is way up the par. You niggas gotta talk about something different. It's better than some damn power, cause we know what's coming with me. Know what's coming with me. And when you when you in the trenches, it's cool to shoot them bullets. How you gonna defend yourself when them bullets coming back? That's my say.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Tank. I'm going to kick off the Q&A process. We'll get to the media questions in a moment. But, Gervonta, I want to start with you. You're in a unique position where your last 3 fights all came at different weight classes. You chose to come back to 135 for this one. Why this weight class now? Why Rolly Romero as the opponent?
Why not? This guy been talking. He only trying to sell the fight. That's what it is. That's what he doing. I remember walking in Mayweather gym. He sitting on the couch. I told him he a bum-ass fighter. He ain't say nothing, not one word. He just trying to sell a fight. He's scared, man. This nigga, he's a clown. He's a chump. I'm going to show him he a chump December the 5th. I ain't come to play. I ain't come to talk. I wasn't going to do this press conference, but I know it sell the fight. It sell, Showtime and Al Heyman, Mayweather Promotions put a lot of money behind this, but you know what? It come with us, man. We here to fight, man. We don't do too much talking.
Tank, is this personal, or do you look at Rolly and the antics as a bit of a clown, or are you taking this as a personal attack that you're going to...
This not personal. I heard Leonard say it's beef, and it ain't beef. You know what happened when it's beef. You know what's happening. So it ain't no beef. It's business. Leave it like that.
On the flip side, Rolly, you've been using Gervonta's name, social media, in front of microphones long before this fight was ever signed. From your standpoint, when did you first know you wanted this matchup, this was going to happen, and what has fueled your dislike for Gervonta Davis?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've been calling him out with 2017, 2018, and we're supposed to spar in 2018, beginning of 2018, sometime.
What happened?
Yeah, and you ain't fucking show up. You ain't fucking show up
to the gym.
Yeah. You said fuck it. You said 2 p.m., motherfucker. I showed up at 2 fucking p.m. and I had a fucking witness right fucking there. I got messages. I got all sorts of shit. You ain't fucking show up. Both times. 2 fucking times because you knew you were going to get your ass beat. Simple as that.
I'm here now. December the 5th. I'm here.
Yeah, December 5th, you're getting knocked the fuck out.
That's cool.
Simple as that.
Rolly, you're as unique a personality as we've seen come across boxing pay-per-view levels in some time. We can see the flashy dress. We can see your history of knockouts in the ring. It's almost a supernatural level of confidence. What fuels that?
Focus on the fight.
I don't know. That's just me. That's just the way I am. That's the way I was born. Just like that.
What do you say to those who look at what you've accomplished and say maybe this fight a little too early? Just 14 pro fights fighting one of the best pound for pound in the world.
I mean, shit. I mean, there's been world champions with less amount of fights than me and all this stuff, you know. I came in this sport at 17.
That's how you know
I started boxing late. And you know what? I mean, I made the most out of what the hell I've done. And now I'm, 14-0? I'm fighting on pay-per-view. I'm gonna knock Tank the fuck out. Everybody gonna see that shit. And it's simple as that.
We would like to open up questions from the media in attendance. Our PR team. There we go.
I have a question for Tank Giandra, LaBeouf Boxing Insider. Tank, when you were on the come up, you were the bigger trash talker. You're more secure in your position in the sport. When you look at Rolly, what do you think of his trash talking and his boxing ability, and which do you think is better?
When I was coming out, you seen when I fought Pedraza, I ain't do no talking. I was on a mission. When I went in that building, I had everybody against me, and I proved that I'm that top guy. This nigga is a clown. He ain't nothing like me. That's all he do is talk. That's where he went in that, talking. I won December the 5th.
Hi, Raleigh, this is David Avila. The lightweight division is really talented. Where do you rank Tank among those lightweights and why?
I'll be honest, I mean, I got him at number 2. I got Teofimo as number 1 because Teofimo has all the belts. But I mean, I got Tank as number 2, so it's like that.
Now, how he gonna beat? Come on, bro.
Hey, help me out.
Man, this nigga is a clown. He ain't, come on.
Take your time out, like the video.
Fuck
Try
you
to get
talking
200.
about? I don't know what the fuck motherfucker's saying.
Nigga's a clown, bro.
Rolly, we've seen you come out and not only predict a knockout, but a first-round knockout. When you look at Tank Davis, what gives you that confidence that you can finish him this quickly?
I mean, he got a big-ass fucking head. It's going to be kind of hard to fucking miss. I mean, he gets hit by every single opponent. I mean, Lil Santa Cruz was beating the fuck out of him until, I mean, Lil was the same punch 3 times in a row. Fucking first, like 6-7 round, Barrios was beating the fuck out of him, too. He gets fucking punched by everybody. He literally get punched by everybody. He's getting his ass beat by fucking 126-pounders. Shit.
Go back to another media question.
This question's for Rolly Romero, Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV. Rolly, in your previous fights, we've seen you come out and you look like you've got an absorbent amount of anger and energy. How are you going to control that based on how irritated you seem? Gervonta Davis being such a devastating puncher, how are you going to control your emotions in order to keep yourself together?
Not angry, just focused.
You would have picked up on skills if you was focused. Clown.
Steven Cordeño, KOR to Sports. Gervonta, I'm sure you've seen all the stuff on social media, the piñata, that stuff. I know with Mario Barrios, his trainer said, they want to beat you to the white meat. Do you take some of the stuff that Rolly's doing on social media, use that as fuel in camp?
You seen what happened with his coach, right? He regretted that. And his coach, he's not working on his Bullet's not working on nothing but power. They're not working on no skills or nothing. Pack all the whole group up. Pack them up and get them the fuck out of boxing. For real.
14-0, 12 knockouts. There's some skill to that. Power is skill.
It's not no skills for him fighting bums. He ain't fight nobody like me. He ain't fight nobody like me. Look.
Rolando.
Y'all see it now.
Muhammad Mubarak with the Electronic Urban Report. This question is for Romero. If you win this fight, would you have a rematch with Jackson Romero? Marinas?
Marinas?
Yes.
We offering a rematch. We offering a rematch, more money, and take the fight. He go fuck himself.
All right. We have a final statement, Gervonta Davis, as we get closer to this fight. Sunday night, December 5th, Showtime pay-per-view. What can Rolly Romero expect from Tank?
Forget him. This for the fans, man. The fans won December the 5th. Make sure y'all come out and support. I'm thankful to be in this position. Once again, thank Al Hammond, Mayweather Promotion, Showtime, Floyd Mayweather personally, and my team, man, GTD Promotions, Lauren, my personal friends and things like that, family and friends. That's what it's all about. People that's push you in the right direction. So come December the 4th, you're going to see an action-packed fight. That's what it is.
Showtime pay-per-view, Sunday night, December 5th. Get your tickets at AXS.com. Thank you for the media in attendance. Now we're going to take a step back and get the fighters together to pose.
Rolly did his part, and yeah, he's there to talk shit and sell the fight. I mean, he said some truths, I'll turn that off. I want to hear what they got to say. Yeah, so if you don't know, let's go look at it real quick. The winner is going to be ordered to fight current WBC franchise, WBA Super, IBF, and WBO Ring Magazine champion Teofimo Lopez. That's, of course, if Teofimo Lopez defeats George Kambosos on November the 27th. Tank Davis and Rolly Romero, his name is actually Rolando Romero, Rolly Romero. They're fighting to unify the WBA World and interim titles. Right now, as we talked about earlier in the video, before the press conference started, there's been a lot of talk in the last year at 135 pounds. Most recently, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. Them dudes ain't going to fight at 135 pounds. We talked about it earlier, but here's what I think is going to happen. Tank Davis is probably going to fight, if he defeats Rolly Romero, another in-house type of fight. But who? I wouldn't be surprised if he goes up and competes at 147 pounds. Now, Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz should fight. From my understanding, they're supposed to be fighting. Well, it's not really a final eliminator, but pretty much it is a final eliminator. Because the WBA has been forced to have to get rid of all of those belts. Basically, as you can see, they have 3 champions at 135 pounds. It's not being talked about enough that the WBA ordered Davis and Romero to fight. And if they didn't order it, they probably were told behind the scenes that they have to fight. Well, he's ahead of Loma in the WBA rankings because he's the WBA interim champion. And also, Loma was out of the WBA rankings, I believe, for injury. Well, anyway, Lomachenko, don't be surprised if in December, when Lomachenko returns against Richard Comey, that's the rumor, that he will be the next WBO mandatory. Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz got to fight. I believe that the fight may actually happen since Ryan Garcia is getting surgery or had surgery for a hand injury. So the winner of Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz, is going to have to fight Ryan Garcia. Teofimo Lopez doesn't have a mandatory because he was made franchise champion. Loma was made franchise champion. So therefore, Teofimo got the franchise champion status, which makes no sense to me. Now, Tank Davis is not ever going back down to 130. I don't see it. Because he dropped his 130-pound super title. This was him. He had this one. Remember, him and Leo Santa Cruz fought for it. Chris Colbert is going to be fighting Roger Gutierrez. I believe they came to a deal or close to coming to a deal. I don't remember. And they're going to be the only champion at 130 pounds for the WBA. Tank Davis is also this right here at 140. So right now, Tank Davis has 2 underling WBA belts. Technically, if you really want to be, serious, he's not considered a champion, because of his underling belts. Now, when he was at 130, had that super title, that was a legitimate title. But for fans, don't really recognize these world belts because Josh Taylor is the champion at 140. And regarding to the WBA, and Teofimo is the champion at 135. Now, what I think is going to happen, the WBA is going to have to order Tank Davis to fight this guy right here because they have to get rid of that belt too. Or will the WBA order Josh Taylor and Tank Davis to fight? So I guess what I'm saying is I'm looking at, who can Tank Davis fight in-house that can also, generate money on pay-per-view, because you have to think his next fight, this is his 3rd fight on pay-per-view. Leo Santa Cruz, October of last year. Mario Barrios earlier this year in June. And now Rolly Romero. Now those are all in-house PBC fights. And Mayweather himself at the post-fight press conference was it Mario Barrios or Leo Santa Cruz? Wherein Leonard Ellaby have said they're going to keep Tank in-house. So Teofimo Lopez is a top ring fighter. Josh Taylor is a top ring fighter. So I'm looking at these guys, maybe Tank versus Gary Russell. Gary Russell's been talking about moving to 135 and he needs a fight. Maybe him versus Gary Russell on pay-per-view. I like that fight. That's an intriguing fight. I like that fight. Because if you look at it, you know, I mean, yeah, they can try to go Isak Cruz, but, you know, put him against another Mexican, but, you know, I don't know. Like, they're running out of in-house fights at the weight classes that Tank Davis wants to compete at, 135, 140. So therefore, that leaves 147. Remember, there was talks of him versus Keith Thurman. Maybe him versus Danny Garcia, or, you know, Jose Zito Lopez. Those are some good fights for him at 147 pounds. It's going to be a Sunday night pay-per-view, by the way, and it's likely going to be $79.99. Remember, we got a lot of pay-per-views. Wilder versus Fury, Fury versus Wilder 3 a couple of weeks ago. November the 6th, Canelo versus Plant. November the 20th, Crawford versus Porter. This one, Tank Davis, Rolly Romero, December the 5th. And then you have Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. That's also supposed to happen. I'm hoping they're going to push that back to January. But they were talking about putting that, you know, in December as well. And then if you watch and buy both sports, meaning UFC, you got those pay-per-views as well. I don't know. Keith Thurman is going on a 3-year layoff, bro. Like, he last what was that, July of 2019? Like, bro, you know? Like, I've lost faith in Keith Thurman. He got married, got that PVC money, and he just don't seem like he got it, you know? I mean, he's had 3 significant, you know, like, high-profile fights with Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, both on free TV. Huge ratings, and then he had the Manny Pacquiao pay-per-view. Dude is eating good. And he probably still driving that Prius. Like, he don't spend no money. But Rolly's doing his part. I just don't think that Rolly can beat Tank Davis. Even though Rolly did, you know, make some sense where, you know, I mean, Tank Davis won the fights, both, you know, by stoppage. But, wait, he stopped Barrios. I'm sorry, my memory's shit. Yeah, he stopped Barrios. But he was losing on the cards to Barrios, and remember they had the open scoring, to Barrios and to Leo Santa Cruz. And he had, you know, and Gamboa had 1 foot, 1 shoe. He really couldn't get him out of there. So Tank does have vulnerabilities, but also Tank has a high ring IQ. Like, to me, Tank Davis is the man. You know, it's also good to see that, you know, he's really focusing on his craft, even though, you know, he's, you know, getting to some dumb shit every now and then. But still, you know, it's good to see that he focuses on his craft. Oh, he might have upgraded to a Tesla. But yeah, I'm going to get up out of here. Tomorrow we're going to be here for the weigh-in for Shakur Stevenson versus Jamel Herring versus Shakur Stevenson. And then you're going to see me on Saturday covering that fight. The card, I'm going to watch I'm going to watch the Herring versus Stevenson card. But I'm sorry, that undercard is, you know. But I'm interested to see what this undercard is going to be, because it can't get no worse than Canelo versus Plant undercard. Like, that undercard is fucking, So I'm going to try, you know, we should start hearing about some fights or some potential fights that can be on this undercard soon. I'm T-Street Controversy with Fight View 360. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. See you tomorrow.